So would you like to focus on one of those timelines?
Yeah, let's focus on the first one.
Very good. So tell me what is happening in this scene.
So there's a little boy playing on the Cobblestone road.
Can you describe this boy?
He's got brown hair.
Yes.
He's wearing like a white shirt, one or two buttons by the collar. It looks like he's wearing those bands that go over the shoulders, you know.
Suspenders.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And it hooks onto the pants. Brown, like brownish, dark brown kind of pants that he's wearing.
What color is his hair?
Brown.
And his features?
Cute little face. I would say he's about 3 or 4 years old. He's just playing on the cobblestone road there, picking at little rocks, and now and then he sees an ant or so and he picks it up and looks at it and holds it onto his finger. There's a man that just walked up to him.
Yes.
He seems quite old. He's picking him up, like he's coming to get him or something. He's like on his hip at the moment. I'm just kind of like viewing this from above.
So you perceive yourself to be separate from this boy?
Yes, I'm not part of this. These people. It's kind of like just I'm looking in.
Like a window?
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
The old man's pants seems quite saggy, like he's lost lots of weight. Or maybe it's just because he's old, but he's carrying the little boy on his hip.
What do you see around it, this scene, kind of around the cobblestones? Can you make out anything else in this?
Yeah, there's like houses, like tiny houses, you know. All of them kind of look the same, like white with a wooden bit in between it, you know, like structure has wood in it, but it's made from stone, you know, like bricks that was like plastered over.
Do the houses look like they're from here?
No, not this. No, not South Africa though. It's like very stone kind of. It's like cobblestones and there's paths and stuff.
What color are these walls?
Some of them are like it's like a reddish clay type color.
Very good.
Not sure where this is though. It's like there's a cat on the wall.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like garden as well, like in some of the front part of the houses. It's kind of like this old man is just walking with the little boy on his hip and just kind of whispering to him. Like you can see the boy is having fun too.
The boy is?
The boy is having fun.
So they're familiar to each other?
Yeah, it's like it's his grandpa or something.
Very good.
And it seems like they're coming up to a fountain. And they're sitting on the wall of the fountain.
Yes.
And the little boy is like lying on his kind of chest, stomach, looking into the fountain and touching the water with his fingers. And the grandpa is kind of like grabbing his back.
Do you have any sense of what they might be feeling, these people? Can you pick up emotions?
They look happy. But the grandpa has some sadness in his eyes. Kind of like he's had some hard times. And he's grateful for this experience now, being able to kind of spend time with his grandson. And I get the sense like he feels like it's not gonna last, It's just for a little while, but he's grateful for
the moment.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay, so what happens next?
Well, the little boy, he's playing with the water, and the grandpa's just kind of looking at him playing. And it seems like there's other people around as well, like going about their day.
What do they look like? What are they wearing?
It seems like the one lady is wearing a yellowish dress. It's coming up to her ankles. She's got like a bag in her hand, like she's on the way to the market or something.
Does she have anything on her head?
Can't really see her face yet.
Okay.
Let me see. Alright, the cat just jumped up onto the fountain.
Yes.
It's a black and white cat.
Tuxedo.
Yeah. Alright, the lady, she's got also like a grey hair. But it's like sticking out from underneath the thing on her head. It's like a type of cloth type thing.
Very good. And all the ladies wearing this kind of cloth?
Yeah. But it's like they have different patterns on them. Get the sense that it's like a white cloth. And it's like a type of pattern on it. I'm not sure what the type of pattern is called, but we do get it in our fashion sometimes as well. It's kind of like a squarish type.
Like a checker cloth kind of thing. Very good. Okay, so is there anything else happening in this scene? Anything of significance that you notice?
Yeah, there's a man coming up to the old man and the little boy now.
Yes.
He's quite angry. He's taking the boy.
Can you sense who this man is? Is the boy familiar with him?
Yes, yeah, he knows him. He starts crying because he got pulled away. He seems quite angry, the younger man who just took the boy. He's kind of like just giving the older man like kind of stare and walking away with the boy.
And who is this man to the boy? Can you make out?
It looks like it might be his father.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where does he take the boy?
I think they go home. The old man is just sitting there, kind of sad.
Okay.
He's like, watery eyes.
Mm.
I get the sense that they don't get along well, the two men.
Yes. Okay.
So there's some anger there from the younger man. It seems like the older man has just kind of letting him do it. He's not fighting, but you can see he's sad.
Yes. Okay. So it's upsetting to him.
Yeah.
To have this little boy taken away.
Yeah.
Okay. And what happens next? Can you make out anything else? Or are you zoning in on now?
Kind of like that scene has just ended. You know, like we saw what we were supposed to see. I'm not sure what it was that we were supposed to see, but it's like that scene ended. Like the timeline went back to its vortex, if you can say that.
Very good. So I'll just repeat that question. So we were shown 3 scenes today. And the first one was of a little boy in Cobblestone with his grandfather. Why did you show that scene today?
Okay, so that scene was shown because when he was taken from the grandfather, he felt a sense of detachment, and he felt like he separated from something he loved. So just let us just open this channel. We're sending in some light so we can view the emotional processes clearer. Alright, so he experienced a physical sense of detachment or separation from something he loved, and he took on the anger from the other person, which was his father. He held this anger throughout his whole life, and he physically manifested it. So it seems like there is a big willingness for him to release this energy, unwanted energy of anger. We can open the channels for him today to release that, but he needs to complete the final step.
What is the final step?
The final step would be for him to realize, accept the fact that he has created it. He needs to take the anger and he needs to see it as a positive thing. He needs to see it as positive in a sense that it is showing itself to him, for him to decide to release it. So he must become aware that he has a choice. And when he does make this choice, he needs to make the choice for himself. Then he would experience a complete release of this anger. So he needs to choose for himself to stay if he wants to stay. If he chooses to stay for someone else, then he might not be... okay, so he would not let go of all of it. He would only let go of all of it if he chooses for himself to stay. If he doesn't choose either options, then he would choose to move into a different experience where he would just have to learn the same lesson again. So he needs to make a choice, and when he makes this choice, he needs to make it for himself. And this is how he would experience kind of total relief in what is manifested physically. We can send him some relief already to make the process a bit easier. We'll be sending it through the heart. He's very open and receptive to that.
Yes.
He's receiving it well. We're sending the white light energy. So this will reside within his heart, and when he makes the choice, it will be released. But it's very important for him to know that he needs to choose for himself, because he's also important. Even though he's held on to this, it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing, because this is teaching him that he has a choice. The negative experiences that we experience in life is it's never a bad thing. So he can take this opportunity to release himself. It will literally slingshot him into a very, very like you say, growth. He would grow a lot if he makes this choice for himself.
Yes.
But we do realize that he's very selfless as well, to his sense, and wants to choose for the others. He has reached a point where he is kind of feeling obligated to stay. But he should not make the choice from that emotion. He should make the choice from an emotion of love. That's why we are sending the energy to the heart. So he needs to learn to love himself so that he can make this choice for himself. So the way we are seeing the timelines is that he's already cleared this, what he's made. There's a timeline where he has completely cured himself and healed himself, but this is the timeline when he chooses for himself.
Did you see any other timelines?
Yes, there's the one where he doesn't kind of experience the self-love aspect and makes the choice from his mind instead of his heart, where he chooses to stay and heal himself, but for the rest, not for himself.
Okay.
So this will partially be healed to a sense where it would not bother him at all, but later in his life it would return.
Okay. Is there another timeline?
There's a timeline where he doesn't make a choice and he continues to manifest this to become more physical and more bigger, where he chooses to kind of just give up.
Okay, so you're saying that it's internalized anger from the dad.
Yes.
And he was kind of holding that in his body. But how can he practically let go of this? I always try to understand in a third dimensional perspective.
So he can let go of it by simply making this choice. It's all about the choice. So many people who go through this experience, they literally make a choice where they see it as a sense of, say, holding on to some grief or anger towards another person, and then they feel like, they're at their last and they need to forgive it before they go. But then they forgive it, and that's actually the choice they make to stay. And that's when they cure themselves. It's all about the decision.
But you said all negative experiences are actually positive. What does that mean? How can you understand that scene?
Alright, so when we have a negative experience in your life, whichever form it may take, it's there to question. So when you question something, it's a basic understanding of the situation. So when you question, then it teaches you the lesson. And when you understand the lesson, you can go through the forgiveness of it, which is kind of just a choice that you make. Say, for example, you experience the flu. You don't want to be having the flu because it's holding you back from going to work or going and doing your daily thing that you do.
Yes.
It's putting you in bed. It's holding you back. But if you take this flu and you see it as something that's teaching you a message or showing you a message, then it will show you that you can make the choice to heal yourself. And then maybe the lesson will bring about a subconscious knowing that you're actually supposed to rest. But you don't need to experience it bad when you rest, though. But now you've created this flu. Now you're experiencing it as a negative. But in that experience, if you question it, you can learn from it, that it's not a negative, because you can learn to heal yourself. And then in that same breath, you also learn that you should listen to yourself, because you need to rest. You can't just always focus on what makes you tired and burns you out. Sometimes you need to rest.
Okay.
It's very important. So instead of creating the flu to force you to rest, you can literally just create your circumstances to create a period of rest. And you have experienced that many times, you personally, by simply having a cancellation.
Exactly.
Or COVID is another example. Many people wanted to work from home and they got it.
They manifested it.
So this is what it's meant by using the negative as a positive, because it slingshots you in your growth.
Yes.
Especially if you ask it.
Yes.
If you question it. Question is the most important part of learning. If you don't question, you don't learn. So we urge you to question everything, because it will bring about a sense of understanding in any experience that you have in your life, from something as small as the flu to as big as cancer. Nothing has a variant, really. All of this is the same. There are no small upsets. All of them are the same. So there are no small negatives. There are no big negatives. It's all just negative experiences, and you should use it to facilitate in your growth by questioning it.
Yes.
So practical solutions for him is to take this information today and see it as the flu. It is just as simple as the flu. It is not in varying degrees. The flu is simply, if you want to put it in a physical form, an elimination of bacteria or viruses. Cancer is simply an elimination of a accumulation of cells. So it's literally the same thing. It's just different forms. It's all just emotion. And he needs to just focus on the fact that, does he really need to hold on to that experience? Such a long time ago. He doesn't need it. If he feels he needs it, then he's going to hold on to the emotion. And then he's going to hold on to the cancer. So it's an escalating effect, you know. So he needs to just, take this information and then choose for himself. Choosing for yourself is always the best outcome. It's not selfish at all. It's simply making a choice that is going to be the best for you. And usually when you make the choice that is the best for you, it is also very beneficial to everyone around you. If you choose to, there are many situations, of course, like I know I hear the thoughts of, what if you choose to walk away? Then is the other people going to experience it as a negative or a positive? It's not the case. In this case, it's their path. It's everyone's path. So he needs to make a choice for himself. If he feels he's ready, he'll know when he's ready as well, intuitively. And then when he makes that choice, make it with the intent coming from the heart for the experience of having the best possible outcome for everyone, but for himself first. So when he makes this choice, he would literally cure himself from the cancer.
Would that be immediate?
That would be immediate, yes. Your choices are it's very powerful. You do not realize this at all. But it's literally, choices are instant manifestations. We urge you to see everything as a choice. Even what you see, what you call negative, it's choice too, because you want to learn, you want to grow. It's a very beautiful thing. It's all in divine order. We are very powerful beings. You are very powerful beings. And we are always assisting in the choices and the processes. Whatever choice you make, we give it to you. We say yes to it. And then that's what you get. But yes, if he wants to make the choice of still wanting to experience this lifetime, it would be very beneficial to him, because he would slingshot himself forward, learn a lot of lessons that he wouldn't then have to come back and learn again. And it's literally just a sense of letting go of the anger that he held on to. So he has created some extra anger along the way.
Yes.
Because he saw it as a normal thing, because he experienced it from a young age.
From his dad, it seems.
It seems like it. He held on to it there, and then he took it and he escalated it throughout his life by adding more different kinds of anger.
Yes.
It's still the same emotion, and this causes an accumulation of this emotional energy of anger, and creates physical experiences, which we refer to as the cancer. It refers to, can go towards many other things. Psoriasis is a big one too. It just has an attribute of guilt attached to it. so that you stare it in your, it's in your face when you have that.
Yes.
So it's very similar, like there are many ways of expressing anger in the physical manifestations, but yeah, it's just the way he expressed it, and he just needs to remember that he has a choice.
Okay. And if he had to let go of that original anger from that scene, would that let go of all the other anger that's been accumulated? Or would that have to be separate processes?
It would all just happen at once.
Okay.
Anger is anger.
Okay.
You either choose to hold on to it or you don't.
Okay. Okay, and what is his purpose, his life purpose?
His life purpose is to grow spiritually. He, before you come into this experience, you create lots of different situations and scenarios that you can use to learn from. And in this experience, he's chosen the cancer as one of those experiences. So the purpose would be for him to take these experiences, past experiences, all of them, just, work through each of them. Some of them hold sadness, some of them hold guilt. This is normal for everyone. You just need to work through each and every single emotion. Let go of it, and that will move you forward into your growth that you want to accomplish spiritually. This is part of his purpose. The other part of his purpose physically is to teach the rest around him as well. Because he would, if he makes his choices, the others would see how the choices affects his life.
Okay, so it would be a wonderful example to everyone around him.
It would be a very, very good example, and this would also teach them. So he's a teacher in a sense, teaching them silently in a way. And obviously, before he came into this experience, they made this decision with him to learn from him as well. So
Okay.
his purpose would be to make the choices. He's like the, if you could say, the ground layer. He's going to make the choices, and then the rest will see what his choices cause, and then they will follow in making their own choices then too. So he's a very silent teacher, if you could say it like that.
Okay.
He's going to lay the groundwork very beautifully if he makes the choice for himself.
Okay.
Because this will help him, and it will help many around him too.
Yes. And I'm assuming his biggest lesson is then to let go of that anger. Is that what he came to? Is that his biggest lesson, or is there anything else?
Yeah, that is definitely one of, if you want to refer to big in a sense, I know you guys see varying variants. It's one of his lessons. We wouldn't say it's a big lesson, it's just a lesson. Just as all the other lessons. He's learned a lot of lessons in his life already. Don't know why he's struggling with this one, really.
Yes.
He knows how to do it, he just needs to do it.
Okay.
I mean, him just asking to connect to us this way is already a big step.
Yes.
Wanting to let go.
Okay.
So he just needs to actually do it, and then he would be free from all of this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, is there any other message for him today?
Alright, so we just want to tell him that we want to send our gratitude to him for being willing to look deeper within. He's always been on the right path, always done what he felt is right for everyone around him but himself. So he needs to focus on himself this one time at least, to just, let go. Just let go. We're going to send him lots of light and love and energy. It's going to be ready for him to use in his heart center. And then when he uses it, makes the choice for himself.
Yes.
That energy will be completely released.
Yes.
And this will facilitate the manifestations of health, which is what his ultimate choice would be in the end. When he chooses for himself, he chooses for his health, he chooses for his purpose, he chooses for his family, to fulfill his purpose that he came here to do for them. And it would be like a beautiful domino effect, and very, very loving, very light-based. He's here to bring that light. He's going to release it to so many if he just is selfish for one moment.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, is that all for him today?
Yes.
Do you have anything else to say about disease within the human body?
Yes. Alright, so disease is a belief, just like everything else. If we believe we have a headache, then we'll have a headache. If we believe a pill is going to take the headache away, then it will take the headache away. So all disease is just a form of belief in your external reality. Many people are suffering from this right now. Just because they believe the external instead of the internal. And people have forgot about their internal being. And that's okay too. It's part of the experience. It's part of shifting the collective consciousness. Everyone has to wake up gradually to a sense. So disease is a big, big belief that is here to teach every single person that they are whole. They are not broken in any sense, because disease represents brokenness or incompleteness or being fragile or not being whole to a sense, because you're under attack by some sort of virus or bacteria or condition or illness or whatever it may be. So it's all the belief that you attach to it. And then also part of that belief is also us sending you messages of the emotions that you are holding on to. So we kind of use that disease that you have created within your belief as a positive thing too. It's only positive though if you are willing to question it. And it's usually experienced as negative, but it's all part of the process and the path of awakening. Once you are willing to see, say, your cancer as a positive thing, teaching you what you need to learn, then message is received. It's actually a very cyclical lesson, because it will be external, but it's internal too.
So if someone were to find out that they had cancer, what would you advise them to do?
They should take it as an opportunity. Why do they have cancer? Ask that question. Why do I have cancer? And then run through the emotions. Am I sad about something? Am I angry about something? Am I guilty? Do I feel guilty about something? So usually the three main emotions are your fear, anger, guilt, and then sadness goes along with that because it will create a negative experience. But if you can see it in a positive light, then it can teach you many things, and it can literally boost your growth into the direction of everywhere, really. And it will just save time so much if you are willing to see it in a positive sense. And this counts for any type of disease or disorder out there, to condition, from cancer to allergies to skin problems, gut problems, whatever you can think of. If you are willing to see that experience as a positive thing and ask the questions, what is it for? What is it teaching me? What does it make me feel like? What do I feel from it? This will escalate everything, and it would promote wholeness, and it would promote healing, growth, understanding, abundance, joy in the end, because you will be completely whole and healthy. The body is a very, very powerful thing too. It's a very perfect creation. It can literally heal itself completely within a second if you allow it to. It's when we interfere with our thoughts and our beliefs that it becomes fragile and incomplete. And then that is a belief too. So literally just ask the questions and you shall receive the answers. It's as easy and as simple as that. The universe is a very simple place. There's nothing complicated about it. And it's usually the most simplest answers that bring about complete wholeness for someone in any given situation.
I suppose the question I have is that if you've noticed that the emotion is anger, how do you're saying it's a choice to just let go of the anger, but how does that work? It seems so simple, but is it that effective?
It is very effective. So we would always suggest to visualize. You can create a visualization where you can let go of the anger that you are holding on to.
Yes.
Be it a ball of light or a ball of blackness, it's your choice what to visualize. And then you can simply ask for the guidance to take it into the light, so it can be recycled there for something positive that you can use for something positive in your life, or have a positive experience. Because if you're going to use the negative thing, such as anger, and send it into the light, it will automatically be recreated into the opposite experience.
Okay.
Yeah, so what he can do is, suggestions that might work for him is visualization, and what works for him in the moment he does it. Our visualizations change all the time as well. So whatever is helpful to him in the given moment that he chooses to do the visualization of letting go of this anger that clearly doesn't serve him anymore. Okay. Another way is he can write it down on a piece of paper, and he can light a candle and light it and burn the paper. It's also a way of doing it. Many people do it like this. The other way he could do it is simply taking a few moments of silence and asking for it to be dissolved into the light.
Mm.
We are there we're always here. You're never alone. And like we said, the white light energy is already there. He just needs to release it with a choice.
And what about in the future if he had to feel anger again? How does he handle that emotion?
He can literally take that anger and then acknowledge it. And then after acknowledging it, he could thank it for presenting itself once again, and then just teaching him again that he does not require it, he does not need it, and that he can choose for what he actually wants in that moment. So it's all about observing the thoughts and then taking the experience and then creating it into a new one.
So it's about responding and not reacting.
Yes, responding into an appropriate manner of just recreating what you actually choose for, and not what you are experiencing.
Could you have anything else to say about disease within the human body?
No, I think we feel that, people just need to realize that they are in charge of the choices they make. They always seem to think that something else is making it for them. This is not the case. They simply need to understand and just come back to the realization that they are the creators of their realities, and that they need to make the choices themselves, for themselves, in an intent where it is going to be the best possible outcome for them, and then also for those around them.
Do you have any message for the people who might be stuck in this grip of the virus at the moment?
They need to remember they can breathe. They need to remember that repetition is a very powerful form of suggestion, accepting suggestions. So rather repeat to themselves what they truly want instead of listening to the external repetition. So recreating, reprogramming their minds back into what they are is going to be a very, very big lesson for a lot of people. And they just need to realize that they choose for it. They can choose for it, and they need to make their own choices. They not need to start thinking for themselves again. They need to look inward instead of outward. There is no disease. It's simply a creation of the mind, just like every other disease. It's kind of like taking a problem and realizing there is no problem. Just come back inward, and then all the answers will be there. Question, and it will be received.
What was the reason for humanity manifesting that disease?
They manifested it so they can wake up quicker. Because they want to shift with the earth. The earth is shifting anyway. So they created a very, very big scenario that would happen to the entire collective. And in this collective, then they would find themselves in negative situations, very negative situations. But this will slingshot them forward if they would just question these situations and start focusing on their own thoughts instead of what they're being told to think. And this promotes waking up, because people are starting to think for themselves. This was all a joint decision with every single entity on this planet, because everyone who came here right now and who is here right now knew the planet was going to go through a shift in their lifetime. So they knew this is a very, very good opportunity for them to facilitate in their spiritual growth. And this is why everyone is experiencing this together. And they just simply need to remember that they have a choice, and they just need to use everything that they experienced in this lockdown or virus sense, that whether they lost their business or their house or whatever, use it to slingshot yourself forward in your spiritual growth and learn the lessons of there is no lack, there is no loss, because the belief of lack and loss was there, and that's why they experienced it, and that's why they created it, so that they can learn that the opposite is true.